What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video, and before we get started, I'd like to remind you guys that everything on MotionAutoTv.com is actually on sale, and we still have Trevi's Customs t-shirts, so be sure to go support your boy, and maybe subscribe, hit that notification bell. But let's get on with today's video.
We make the streams louder.
What's up, guys? So in the last video of me trying to assemble this this engine right here, I ran into an issue. I was using a really old school set of like Matco piston ring compressors, and basically broke the bottom oil ring as I was installing the second piston. So I basically had to halt putting this thing together. It probably would have been already running and driving by now, but decided to order another ring pack from JE Pistons, and so yeah. Gonna go ahead and get these things, the ring gap opened up a little bit more. In the last video, I was at 0.017. Everybody said I should probably open up to like 0.02, 0.022, somewhere in there. Just give it a little bit more, more room to expand the piston rings if this thing does get hot. I mean, it would probably be okay at that tighter ring gap. If we were at the drag strip and we were only running at the drag strip, but like let's say there's a freaking Lamborghini or something, and you go do some rolls. Yeah, so that's kind of the plan. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this piston out, take all the rings off of these guys, open the gap up a little bit more, and then I actually have the right tool now. So I have one of these. This is made by Wiseco. It's a piston ring compressor. Basically, it just goes right there. Piston goes right down in it, and it just does everything. It's got a nice taper to it versus the other thing that I had, which you just basically squeeze it, and it's kind of didn't go all the way around. So we're going to get these Boostline rods and these JE Ultra Series pistons installed in my K24 block, and I think that's about it. Then we should be able to start this thing up and do some cool stuff. We have this cylinder head right here. Didn't do any porting or anything like that to it, I know. But we did upgrade the valve train, flat valve, so it'll actually raise our compression just a little bit, because normally the valves are like a little bit open. But we did dual valve springs, retainers, and little keepers, and all new valve stem seals and all that stuff. So we should be good to go. Dual valve springs, we could actually rev it more now, because we were revving 89 on stock valve springs and the stock valves, and that's where we had the issue. But yeah, I'm pretty much just gonna set this thing on there real quick, and then once that's on there, then we're gonna stick the freaking head studs in it. Also using a JE Pro Seal head gasket. So now we just got to lube up these ARPs a little bit, stick them down in the hole, and we should be ready to tighten this thing down. So getting this motor or engine a little bit more assembled, went ahead and swapped over the cams and this whole rocker assembly. This does have the RBC, which is the 50-degree VTC, on the K24, but it is basically a stock TSX cams for now. I haven't decided how crazy I want to go with that, and I've heard of people making decent power actually on these things because they're decent lift for what they are. But yeah, so need to install all the timing stuff, the timing chain. I have a OEM Type S oil pump right here, and I've been robbing some stuff off of the engine right here that ended up dropping a valve. If you look right there, you can see that's the culprit. That's what caused all this destruction. If it wasn't for if I just did some stuff with the head, I literally think this engine would have been alive and kicking and making, you know, well over 700 horse with just the rods in it. So I would like to kind of experiment how far we could push one of these again in the future. Potentially maybe just buy one more rod and throw it in another engine with like stock pistons and stuff and just kind of play around with it. But yeah, again, this is the Vane engine stand. Basically they make these to where they bolt in and out of the car, and all the engine mounts and everything are level, so you could pretty much just roll this underneath the car and then set it down on the lift and literally just bolting, like slip in your engine mounts, and they tighten right up, and then you lift up the car, unbolt this stuff, and you're good to go. And it also makes it really nice for like installing clutches or something like this where, you know, we need to pull off the oil pan and we need to pull off all these accessories, and you know, we don't necessarily want to throw it on another engine stand because we don't need to. Guys, so the other night I basically had to stop working on this thing because I did not have the correct chain. So this is off of the K24. I think this one's a little bit shorter than this one. So this is a K20 A2 chain, and I initially thought I had one because if we walk over here and we go to my little K-series junkyard, so this is a 24 A2 and that's a 20. So I'm pretty sure I had the chain and everything off of it sitting in this oil pan right here. And then I think we ended up like throwing away the oil pump because that oil pump was bad. So we were messing around with it. And so yeah, ended up getting rid of that, I guess, or it's out in the scrap pile or something. So I went ahead and ordered a OEM chain. So I had to wait basically 2 or 3 days to get that. So now we could actually assemble this bottom. We could actually assemble this bottom end and finish putting it together. So, and then one of the cool things about the K series is right here in the back, they actually have these little pins on the cam to where you could actually pin the cam so it stays right at TDC. So you can see the marks are lined up perfectly right there. Got the mark at the top, and then the timing chain actually has like different colored marks on it. So you could basically line those up with the little tick marks. I believe so, at least. Yeah, I think you mark it, line it up right there, and then the ones at the top, and should be good to go. So yeah, now we're actually to where we can actually finish putting this thing together. Just reusing this tensioner. I was gonna get a new one. The new tensioner was like $160, so I was like, eh. So real quick, I just wanted to show you guys, I just wanted to pull the head off of here real quick because I'm pretty sure we have 3 good rods in this engine, and we could just order one single rod from Eagle, and have basically like a $70 or $100 set of rods for another K series, because these are actually Ty's rods that I borrowed. So I destroyed Ty's rods. But anyhow, if you look right here, there's literally no
piston.
The piston just is gone.
Vanished.
I mean, there it is. Like it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Like there's bits of piston and chunks of stuff. Just
I'm honestly surprised that like the cylinder walls aren't more destroyed in these other
cylinders. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just crazy because, like, everybody was saying like, oh, you're making too much power and you're you know, I mean, 28 pounds of boost on a 3584 or 3582, 28 pounds of boost at the track, all-wheel drive, full load, everything with rods in it, literally just rods. That was it. Stock, everything, stock head studs, stock. Literally, look at this head gasket. So this is a copper sprayed OEM head gasket that we pulled off of it. So this is a bone stock TSX engine, basically. Like literally bone stock oil pump. All we had was the 50-degree VTC and rods in it, and that was it. OEM pistons. We literally pulled the pistons out, cleaned them out. You can see how nice the pistons actually look. It doesn't even look like there's no detonation marks on them at all. Literally, and look at this rod. So the rod still spins on the cap. So it wasn't a bottom end issue. It wasn't like the rotating assembly or the rod. Literally, it was this stupid thing right here.
Just folded the valve.
It just dropped the valve. That's it. And you can even see right here, the top of the valve is still in the keeper. So if it wasn't for that, this bottom end would be a ripper. I kind of want to do it again. Like I want to order another. So we have another A2 24 A2 builder that we were actually going to do for this block. Then the block was just kind of weird. Remember we found those weird pieces in it. But I'm almost willing to like buy another single rod, do the same thing, and just see how far we can push
throw
it.
some ring gap in it or something.
Yeah, maybe just put ring gap in it and put it in, like I've been wanting to K swap the S14, or like we were just talking about, do it in the CRX. Maybe even order, since we already have rods, maybe just order like a cheaper set of like high compression pistons or something. Maybe do like 13-to-1 and just do it NA, TSX cams, 50-degree VTC, and well, I mean at that point we might as well do like a Type S oil pump too, but
yeah, Type S oil pump, and then I mean maybe like some dual valve springs.
Yeah.
And rev it, but that's.
But again, this was like stock valve springs, and it was revving to 8,900, bouncing off the limiter, going through the traps. And I think the pass or whatever,
28 pounds is
28 pounds of boost, just like, and then even my two-step wasn't working. Remember that? And I was
leaving on limiter. Yeah.
Literally leaving on the limiter. So I was leaving it in 8,900 RPMs. I think that was front-wheel drive that night, though. Yeah. And that's when I ran the 10.4 or whatever. But yeah, it's
140 though. That's like the trap is there for.
Like seriously,
for a 9. That's a 9
these
second
K
trap.
series are just insane. Like it absolutely blows my mind how strong they are for what they are and where you could get them. And there's like a ton of them in the junkyard. Again, like not necessarily K24 A2s, which is kind of like the holy grail of like the best one out of the box. But so yeah, probably what I'll do is once we get so this is on the little vane engine stand. So I got the clutch and everything off of it as well. So all we need to do is pretty much pull that off of the engine stand, set it on the ground, pull this off, and then I want to go ahead and just flip this engine over, pull off the rod caps or whatever,
pull them out,
blast the rods out of it, and then we'll go throw this thing in the scrap pile. We'll go put it
with the graveyard.
Go put it out to pasture over there with the other ones. But
we should pull this off and see. I mean, I'm sure sleeves and everything are fine, but yeah, there's. Yeah, everything looks.
You know, it'd be funny. We could even reuse that head gasket. That would just be funny. I wonder how bad the head is.
No, JE isn't that much.
No, this
it's gonna pour everywhere. Is there a box or a pan?
So yeah, the head is pretty trashed, but again, that's not a. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. So here's the valve train out of it. So look at that. I mean, it literally looks brand new. So I wonder if you could just take this whole thing and set it in a CRV head.
The cage?
Yeah, you just put that with like the VTEC solenoid and everything.
I think you can.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, could that be like the budget VTEC swap? Like, could we get like a base model RSX and just go like bloop, throw that in there, and have like a good VTEC engine?
Probably.
I don't know.
I think as long as you have those like the rollers, the rocker things, like the triple ones.
I mean, again, like, I don't know. I've never done it. I haven't even Googled it to see.
I think with all the like the pieces and parts of them, everything could probably make something work.
Oh yeah, I mean we could K-series freaking graveyard this thing. And then again, that's why I went with the new valves, the upgraded valves in this build too. It was just because like I was like, oh, okay, I don't want to put all that money into a bottom end with stock valves that obviously stretch or break at high RPM. So
yeah.
Let's get this. I want to get this thing sitting in here. Let's
get it going.
Let's get her done. Guys, so got the engine and transmission all back together, and they're reunited actually. So this is the CRV, the block out of the CRV, and a K24 head. So this is the original head off of the first K24 that I put in there. Just sent it out to the machine shop, had them build it, and so yeah. If you guys didn't see David's video, we actually did put a PPG 1 through 4 dog gear set. So if you guys want to see a kind of how-to video going over that process, I'll be sure to put the link in the description. Again, David messed with that thing for basically like a night and a half, putting that thing together while I was putting together the bottom end of this this thing. Again, JE Ultra Series head gasket, or JE Pro Steel head gasket, JE Ultra Series pistons, and Wiseco Boostline rods with valve springs, retainers, and new upgraded valves, block guard, and some head studs. So now we're actually rolling the Civic outside. Gonna do a quick little engine bay clean, since this thing has blown up at least 1 or 2 engines. So you can see we got some oily debris down there on the bottom. So we'll go ahead, pressure wash that off, get it all cleaned up and ready for its new little transplant. So I'm stoked. The goal is get this thing sitting in the engine bay by the end of the night, and probably started in the next video. So we're gonna continue working. Oh, man, look at that engine bay, she's shining right up. Check this out. So it is on the vane stand right now. Look at this. So there, you just tighten the bolts right here, and then one of these things. So this is actually for a 24 A2, so it doesn't have a bolt right here. So the tranny is just a little bit down. Here, actually, let me hit that with the impact real quick. These 19s. Yeah, we'll just hit that one real quick. Lower it down just a little bit more. Look at that. Just right into place. This is so much better. Like, because before we were doing the thing kind of similar to this, where you basically take, we would set the engine on a jack, and then, or we would actually just set it on the ground, and then we would roll the engine or the cherry picker sideways and then pick it up. But this is, I mean, this thing has made pulling these engines in and out so much easier. So huge shout out to Vane Stands. They sent me 2 of these things a while back, and it's crazy. He sells a lot of these things. I'm stoked for him. So I'm stoked for everybody who actually gets to use these things, because I mean, it's one of those things. It's unfortunate to have to use it, but it's nice when you need it. Yeah, we need to grab another nut for that. All these bolts have been sitting here for months. Months. I don't know where they went, Ty. We lost them. we're gonna have to find some new bolts now. Alright guys, so got the engine officially mounted in here, and this is the first built engine for a Honda that I've actually put together myself. I had a B series Coupe a long time ago, and it had like a forged bottom end, and then the D series that was actually in here was built and sleeved and all that type of stuff. But pretty stoked to have this freaking built K24 Dogbox, some amazing parts in that engine, and I think we're gonna be able to make a ton of power with this thing. So I'm really freaking stoked about that. So in the next video, we'll be installing an intake manifold. I really want to clean up some of this wiring and actually put a full loom on it now that we actually know that it works. Cool thing is we're not actually taking it to the racetrack tomorrow afternoon, so I don't have to like rush and put this thing together. We could actually kind of clean up some stuff, take my time. So I'm kind of excited to actually do that, get it all dialed in, and then kind of the plan is to actually take it over to James's dyno. But I want to know, which one do you think would win? The Civic or the Supra? On the street, what do you think? At the track, I mean, I don't know. Street tires? I don't know. And if you had to pick which one, what would you pick? That's pretty much going to be it for this video, guys. If you guys aren't subscribed, consider subscribing. And if you want to get updated whenever I upload a video, hit that little notification bell and hit all notifications, and you'll get notified whenever I upload a video. And just a reminder, everything on MotionAutoTv.com is actually on sale, and we still have some Trevi's Customs t-shirts and stuff like that. So be sure to go to MotionAutoTv.com, support your boy, get yourself some keychain stickers, hats, lanyards, bunch of stuff like that, and the Trevi's Customs t-shirt. But appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you later.